The rain had been falling all evening, a relentless drizzle that painted the city in shades of gray. Thomas Nwankwo, a 34-year-old man with tired eyes and a quiet soul, walked home from his shift at the printing press. He never liked using umbrellas. Instead, he let the rain baptize him, as if washing away a weariness he could never explain. His life was predictable: wake, work, return, sleep. Friends had long drifted away. Family kept their distance after too many silent years, and his small apartment carried the kind of loneliness that could echo. But that night, as his shoes splashed through puddles, he heard it the faintest whimper. He stopped, scanning the dimly lit street. There, by the gutter, a small, trembling dog huddled against the cold. Its fur was matted, a patch missing on its side, ribs painfully visible. Their eyes met. Something in that gaze, fragile, desperate, almost human, unlocked a door in Thomas's chest that had been bolted for years. He crouched slowly, hand outstretched. "Hey there, little one. What are you doing out here?" His voice cracked, as though unused to gentleness. The dog hesitated, ears flat, but then, as if deciding this broken man was safer than the night, it limped forward. Thomas sighed. "I can't leave you here." So for the first time in years, Thomas didn't walk home alone. A stray dog followed him, paws splashing in step with his, as if fate had rewritten his story without permission. The apartment was small, with peeling paint and a faint smell of ink clinging to the air. Thomas placed an old towel on the floor, watching as the dog curled upon it, exhausted. "You're a mess," he whispered, crouching beside it. He poured some milk into a bowl, tore a piece of bread, and pushed it closer. The dog devoured it, wagging its tail weakly. Thomas chuckled, a sound so foreign in his own home that it startled him. He couldn't remember the last time he had laughed. Later, as he sat on his bed, listening to the rain tap against the window, he realized the silence was different tonight. It wasn't heavy anymore. The dog's quiet breathing filled the room with a strange comfort, as though someone else's existence validated his own. Before sleep claimed him, Thomas whispered into the dark, "Maybe you're the first good thing to happen to me in a long time." The following days unfolded like something out of a forgotten dream. Thomas named the dog Lucky. Lucky followed him everywhere, when he brushed his teeth, cooked instant noodles, even when he sat on the warm sofa staring blankly at the TV. At night, the dog curled beside his bed, head resting close enough that Thomas could hear its gentle snores. It wasn't just companionship. Something about Lucky felt different. The dog seemed to sense things before they happened. When Thomas came home feeling heavy from work, Lucky would nuzzle his hand insistently until he smiled. When storms rolled in, Lucky would bark moments before thunder shook the skies. Neighbors began to notice too. Mrs. Ez, the widow next door, had once fallen on the stairs. Lucky barked wildly until Thomas rushed out, just in time to help her. She whispered breathlessly, "That dog of yours saved me." But the real shock was yet to come. It was a Thursday night when the air shifted. Thomas had been restless all day, heart pounding for reasons he couldn't explain. Around midnight he jolted awake. Lucky stood rigid at the door, growling a low, guttural sound Thomas had never heard before. "What is it, boy?" The dog barked sharply, then pawed at the door. Suddenly a loud crash echoed outside like glass breaking. Thomas's chest tightened. He opened the door slowly, and what he saw froze him. Two men lurked in the hallway, one holding a crowbar, the other whispering hurriedly. They had broken into the landlord's store below and were creeping upstairs. Before Thomas could react, Lucky lunged forward, snarling with a ferocity that shook the walls. The intruders stumbled back, startled by the sudden fury of a dog they hadn't expected. "Grab it," one hissed. But Lucky was relentless, snapping, growling, his small body transformed into a shield. Thomas, adrenaline surging, grabbed his phone and called the police. Within minutes, flashing lights painted the street, and the men were dragged away in handcuffs. The officer shook his head, impressed. "If it wasn't for your dog, sir, they might have gotten into your flat or worse." Thomas looked down at Lucky, who panted heavily, tail wagging, eyes shining as though proud. For the first time in years, Thomas felt something fierce bloom inside him. Gratitude, love, purpose. News spread quickly. "The stray that saved a man from robbers," headlines read. But it wasn't the robbery that shocked people. It was what came after. One evening, as Thomas and Lucky walked past the park, a young boy gasped, dropping his toy. "Mom, that's Max. That's our dog." The woman beside him froze, eyes wide. She rushed forward, tears streaming. "Max? Oh my God, Max?" Thomas stiffened. "You know this dog?" The woman nodded frantically, hugging the trembling animal. "We lost him months ago. He disappeared after my husband died. This dog was my son's only comfort." Thomas's heart dropped. Lucky Max had a family, a child who had cried himself to sleep missing him. He felt torn in two. This dog had healed a part of him he thought was dead. But looking at the boy's face, he realized Lucky had belonged to another broken heart first. That night, Thomas cried for the first time in years silent, wrenching sobs into his pillow. He had found something to live for, and fate was asking him to give it up. The next morning, Thomas made his choice. He walked to the woman's house, Lucky trotting beside him, tail wagging, unaware of the goodbye waiting. The boy rushed out, hugging Lucky so tight his little shoulders shook. "Max, you're home." Thomas forced a smile. "He missed you." The woman placed a trembling hand on Thomas's arm. "I don't know how to thank you. You gave us back a piece of my husband." Thomas nodded, unable to speak. He turned to leave, but Lucky whimpered, tugging at his trousers as if begging him not to go. That broke him. He knelt, pressing his forehead against Lucky's. "Be happy, boy. That's all I want." He walked away, each step heavier than the last, until Lucky's cries faded into the distance. His apartment was emptier than ever that night. The silence, once comforting, was unbearable now. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if he had lost his only chance at happiness. But sometimes love isn't about keeping, it's about giving. Weeks passed. Thomas returned to his routine, though everything felt different now. Yet one evening, there was a knock at his door. It was the woman, her son beside her, clutching Lucky's leash. She smiled softly. "I know he's ours, but he's yours too. You saved him, and he saved you. Would you like to share him with us?" Thomas's throat tightened. He looked at Lucky, whose tail wagged furiously, eyes gleaming with recognition and love. In that moment, Thomas realized he wasn't losing family, he had gained one. From then on, weekends were filled with park walks, shared meals, laughter he thought he had forgotten. Lucky became the bridge between two grieving worlds, binding them into something whole again. And the community? They watched as a broken man and a broken dog healed each other, and in doing so, healed everyone around them. Because sometimes the most shocking thing isn't the danger we escape. It's the love we never saw coming.